never guess the places that I've been. You never guess the places that I've been. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. I'm never gonna let the day begin. Never gonna let the day begin. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that dream that I live in. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, and I'll just make this bed my home. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Better from above. Nothing's ever as it seems, yeah, except in that world that I dream of. Never gonna lose the ones I love. Never gonna lose the ones I love. 'Cause everything is like a dream, yeah, but only in that world that I dream of. Oh, don't wake me up before you go, 'cause I can't face this day alone. Oh, darling, please just let me sleep. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams. Give me my dreams.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Democratic Senator Edward Markey of Massachusetts voted to block further U.S. military action in Iran without congressional approval, calling this an illegal war. But the measure did fail in the Senate 47-53. Markey says Congress must reclaim its constitutional role over decisions of war and peace. President Trump is weighing in after one of his top counterterrorism officials resigned over the Iran war.
In his resignation post on X, National Counterterrorism Center Director Joe Kent said Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, adding Trump was deceived by Israeli officials and influential members of the American media. Trump told reporters on Tuesday that he thought Kent was weak on security. Trump added Iran has been a threat for a long time. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Dolores Huerta is accusing Cesar Chavez of sexually assaulting her and fathering two of her children.
She released her statement at age 96, saying the encounters happened in the 1960s and that she stayed quiet for decades to protect the farm worker movement she helped build. The claims surfaced the same day a New York Times investigation detailed multiple allegations against Chavez, including accounts from women who say they were abused as minors. In response, the United Farm Workers said it will not take part in upcoming Cesar Chavez Day activities. I'm Lisa Carton.
The United States Postal Service warns it may be unable to pay its workers and vendors come February 2027.
Postmaster General David Steiner appeared before House Oversight Subcommittee and shared at its current run rate, the Postal Service will be out of cash in less than 12 months. Steiner's pushing for Congress to act quickly to lift borrowing limits and reform outdated regulations. However, lawmakers at the hearing signaled a mix of urgency and caution. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great, and even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. Visit strongtel.com. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. It's StrongTel.
A 20-year-old man is accused of getting caught coming back for more after getting away with stealing $69,000 from an Atlantic County man.
Police say Gurpreet Singh of Queens faked being a Federal Trade Commission agent by flashing a badge to the 55-year-old Mays Landing man and demanded the guy pay $63,000 in cash on top of $6,000 worth of Lululemon gift cards. The man apparently got suspicious enough to call the cops because detectives say they were investigating when the 20-year-old Singh contacted the victim again about paying $63,000 more. Well, police officers were waiting Tuesday and greeted Singh with handcuffs when he showed up to the victim's home. Theft and impersonation charges filed. I'm Levon Putney.
A transient who threw a Molotov cocktail at a Los Angeles area hotel is being sentenced to 5 years in prison.
40-year-old Eric Rodriguez pleaded guilty this past September to possessing an unregistered destructive device. Authorities say Rodriguez built the Molotov cocktail June 21st of last year, went to a hotel near LAX, lit it, and threw it toward the entrance. It landed in some bushes where an employee quickly extinguished it before it exploded. Prosecutors citing Rodriguez's criminal history of felony and misdemeanor convictions over most of his adult life had asked for a 9-year prison sentence. I'm Sharon Reardon.
A shooting yesterday at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico left one person dead and an active duty service member injured near the base shopette. Officials say the incident stemmed from a domestic-related dispute. For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Visit iLocal.net/go for your free website analysis. iLocal.net/go.
Another dark night on the interstate. Another 100 miles in the pouring rain. These are worth all the time I've spent away. Another dark night on the interstate. I'm driving through the year, trying to make it right. My baby's at home, hope she's doing alright. Miss my dogs and I miss my girls. I'm 1,000 miles away from my whole
Well, what do you say? How we looking? All right, looking good. What do you say we close out a hump day? Make our way into a Friday Eve. And just like that, away we go. A new day comes our way. Already 19th day of March. From time zone to time zone, we welcome you aboard the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Hey, a few degrees warmer outside the secret bunker tonight in southwest Ohio. 37 degrees. Looks like we actually come out of the deep freeze, begin warming up as we head into the upcoming weekend. It's crazy. 70s. Then you've got highs in the 20s. Back to the 70s. Up and down we go. The change of the seasons. And that's going to be the trend here in the coming days. It's another chilly night in the southeastern USA. Another night with frost advisories stretching through eastern Alabama, much of Georgia, South Carolina. You'll start warming up as well. Hey, we go for some record low temperatures in the southeast. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, in the southwest, no, we're not talking frost advisories. We're talking extreme heat warnings. Yes, indeed. Record high temperatures in the offing. Southern California, southern Nevada, on over into parts of Arizona. Let's start there with a look at our travelers' weather. We've been talking for days about this surge of summer-like heat that continues to build in the southwestern USA. Temperatures 90s and some triple-digit highs in the offing. Yeah, numerous records are being challenged and will continue to do so into the weekend. This is not typical March warmth. Tens of millions experiencing heat that typically doesn't arrive till sometime late in April or May, even early June for some. In a sense, these are they're skipping spring and advancing the weather timeline right into summer. Yeah, this sudden surge in heat is going to lead to energy demands. People struggling to minimize the shock, along with the strain of individuals with the risk of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Traditional waterway cooling measures could be dangerous when a large area of high pressure develops like this. It's called a heat dome, and that heat dome continues to strengthen. With each passing day, temperatures continue to climb. Downtown L.A. we've been focused on for several days, challenging record highs right through Friday of this week, climbing into the 90s. Yeah, highs in the upper 90s. Forecast to continue through today, Thursday. Las Vegas, the mountains and the deserts to the east of Las Vegas, reaching 90 degrees or higher, continuing now through next Monday. Records may be challenged through Saturday. On some days, highs could exceed the previous records, anywhere from 7 to 10 degrees. If Las Vegas reaches 100 Friday, that would be the earliest 100-degree temperature on the record books, beating that by several weeks. Meanwhile, in Phoenix, forecasters projecting highs near 106 degrees from starting today, Thursday through Saturday. You could break daily records by about 10 degrees there. The earliest 100-degree reading in Phoenix occurred on March 26 of 1988. So again, we're only rolling into the 19th day of March, nearly a full week ahead of schedule. According to the record books, further to the north and east, we could be challenging some records between now and the weekend for Salt Lake City, Albuquerque, New Mexico. From later this week into the weekend, some record highs may be set in Denver. Daily records during this stretch generally range from the upper 70s to middle 80s. San Francisco, records expected to fall several days there as you reach into the lower 80s. Records on the books typically are in the 70s, so these are going to be big-time record breakers dating back to the 1990s. Of course, it's weather whiplash. Many parts of the central U.S. were downright cold during the first part of this week in the wake of that massive weekend storm. As all that cold settled in, we saw record lows being set at a number of locations Tuesday morning, stretching from Texas to Nebraska to the Florida Panhandle. A big rebound is in store for the rest of the week into the weekend. Highs are going to be trending upward into the 80s to near 90 degrees. Cold conditions, more typical of February, are going to be swapped with temperatures more in line with May and June. Some areas from the plains to the Mississippi Valley, you may also set some record highs. Now, anyone considering swimming in some of those Southern California beaches or wading into area streams, be aware The dangers of cold water. Ocean temperatures right now, some of the lowest levels of the year in the North Pacific. Of course, inland, the streams are barely above freezing. The water's coming from the snowmelt in the higher elevations. For those partaking in manual labor, you're especially urged. Exercise caution, stay hydrated. Check on elderly people who may not have switched to cooling their homes rather than heating their homes. A tale of two sides of the country, right? Overall, it's a relatively quiet night. Looking at the national radar scene, you're not seeing much precip out there. Still a few snow showers in parts of Pennsylvania and up into central New York tonight. Not enough to mount to, shouldn't even see slippery road conditions. Aside from that, the only area really seeing precip is going to be in the Pacific Northwest, and that's primarily in the state of Washington, western Washington, as the Pineapple Express continues to bring round after round of rainfall and some potential flooding to the Pacific Northwest there. Good to have you with us. Spring, of course, arrives Friday, March the 20th. More than 120 million people in the Midwest and Northeast. It should start to feel like it again is springtime as the roller coaster ride of temperatures, twists and turns continue. Cold and warm air trading places multiple times across the Midwest and the Northeast in the coming weeks. It's a pretty typical pattern for spring. The next rebound is already underway in parts of the Midwest, which is going to spread to portions of the Northeast late in the week and into the weekend as that edge of the massive heat dome in the southwestern U.S. begins to expand. Now, right in the wake of a snowstorm that dumped anywhere from 1 to 3 feet of snow in parts of the upper Midwest, delivered a new cold air blast of temperatures, failed to climb out of the teens for highs in Minneapolis on Monday. You were locked in the 20s in Chicago and Detroit, right on through Tuesday. You had a couple of nuisance clipper storms that indeed affected parts of the upper Midwest and the interior Northeast. But then temperatures forecast to trend upward across the region into Saturday. We're looking at highs reaching into the 70s for Minneapolis and Chicago, near 60 degrees in Detroit. The high in Minneapolis come Saturday could actually challenge a record set back in 1938. I mean, you go from one extreme to the next. Further south, Cincinnati, Ohio, the high temperature was 26 degrees on Tuesday, about 20 degrees below average. In Nashville, temperatures struggled to top 40 degrees on Tuesday. You would typically be about 63 this time of year. High temperatures in Cincinnati are going to trend upward into the 70s by this weekend. In Nashville, temperatures projected to feel more like midsummer as you're going to reach well into the 80s. Highs on both weekend days in the country music capital may challenge records set back in 1907. It's springtime, officially Friday. All right, good to have you on board. Who checks in out of the box here? Hello, Scrapyard, waving all five. West Michigan, there's Crazy Ray. Checking in for the best 5 hours on the radio. It's still a chilly night there in West Michigan, 22 degrees. Hello, Josh, checking in from Dalton, Georgia. 41 at this hour. I'll be unloading in the morning, headed home for a few days after being out on the road for 2 months. Everybody keep the rubber side down. Boy, it would have been nice to sleep in your home bed for a few days, Josh, right? Hello, Jeffrey checks in from Southern Florida. Morning, Steve, and the overnight family. John Ferguson, howdy from Milwaukee. Got a 4-stopper tomorrow, then reload for Wausau back to the home 20. Light mixed precipitation just north of here with a steady 33-degree temperature. Delilah's Law got enough votes to be moved to the full House for debate and a vote. All right, we've got all the details. Indeed, one of our top industry headlines, again, passing out of committee this past day. Hello, Larry. Good afternoon. Hammer down. We're 32 degrees in Platkill, New York. Round number 3 to Schenectady. All right, nap time's over. Coffee is up, ready to ride. Shorty checks in I-95 southbound Brunswick, Georgia with 47 degrees. Here we go. Orlando, turnaround number 2. 8 more days till me and Bambi finally get to meet you. Yeah, Shorty, another of our friends that will be meeting for the first time, heading up to Louisville, Kentucky for the Mid-America Truck Show. Country Bumpkin checking in with 32 degrees. Good morning, Steve and the overnight family. Tank is in the house. Morning, Steve. Happy Friday Eve. We are clear with 87 degrees in Desert Center, California. Yeah, he's out there in the heat dome. All right, got her spun around. We're pointed back east toward western Tennessee. Everybody truck safe and have a blessed day. There's Pappy. Saddle up, nocturnal listeners. The midnight hour, it's showtime. The secret bunker powered up and ready to rock and roll. 37 degrees in Harrison, Ohio. The wind gods have died down. Calm is finally back. Well, calm is not back in the political arena. As Joe Kent resigned and resignation letter spreads through the ecosystem, that shall be discussed. Watch your 6. It's 844-844-3388. The new day underway. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders, and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today. So you missed an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, and now you're suffering night sweats and panic attacks. Well, don't worry, we've got the cure. Never miss a broadcast of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Consistently ranked as one of the top podcasts and radio shows in America, we've made it easy for you to catch up on past shows. Find the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts or at overnightdriveradio.com. And never miss an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%, scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Well, hello to Larry, or I'm sorry, that's Gary, another Gary. Good evening. A comfortable 67 degrees near Oklahoma City this evening. Headed to Texas, got a load of bee equipment tonight. Eskimo Mom, howdy Overnight Drive Nation. Happy Friday Eve, that would be, or Thirsty Thursday. 1 week to the Mid-America Truck Show. 17 days till Resurrection Sunday. Coming back from a drop and hook, one of our indie stores. Don't have a clue what I'll be doing next till I get back to the yard. We are clear in the mid-30s near Inglewood. And Matthew says, howdy, all the listeners out there. All right, Buckeye Boy, Ackworth, Georgia, with 42 degrees tonight. Was able to get my pickup and delivery. And another pickup completed this past day. We'll head out in the morning for Birmingham for a delivery later today. We're going to hit the sack pretty soon. Hey, everybody needs to call their senator. and demand they vote to pass the Save America bill. Then vote to pay our TSA agents, Homeland Security, and other agencies to ensure our safety. All right, have a great night, everybody. Be careful out there. Michael, 28 degrees here in Lower Michigan tonight. Stephanie checks in from Fredericksburg, Virginia, with 36 at this hour. Hello, Bill. Morning, Steve. All the listeners, 29 degrees. Beaver Dam, Wisconsin on the Pizza Shuttle Express. How about some prayers for safe travels tomorrow morning as my daughter and her classmates from her Christian school will be traveling to Independence, Kentucky for a youth conference at Pastor Tommy Bates Church Thursday through Saturday. They always have a great time there. Have a great night, drivers, and be safe out there. All right, hopefully a safe journey. No car fires, all right? 69 in Portland, Oregon. Good to have you with us there. Time for a grill-out party, all right? There's Brian, top of the morning to you. Steve Sommers, Gilligan. Hello, Steve, fellow listeners. Cloudy atop Fancy Gap, Virginia, 41 degrees at this hour. Everybody keep it shiny side up, as they say. There's Tater from Brookville listening in. Just watched the Miami basketball win this evening. Is that March Madness stuff? Is that the first games? Hard to believe. March Madness. It's about to get underway. There's Brett. Hello, everyone. 86 degrees outside the home, I guess, Bullhead City, Arizona. Tomorrow's forecast high, 103. Wow. Meanwhile, 844-844-3388. Hello, Dirty Harry. Good morning. Living large and in charge. Nothing better than that hot coffee. Yeah, waking up and knowing Donald Trump is president. Seriously, Steve, I was out in the garage working on the Jeep, getting it ready for an off-road expedition. And I decided to take the cover off the 1970 Cuda. Gave her a spray and a rub. My goodness, I can't wait to hear that 383 singing me a song. Everybody, all right, be safe out there. And go Bills, as he says. Dirty Harry, sounds like you've got a little bit of spring fever coming on. Does that sound about right? Let's see, Steve. Yeah, you're going to be at the truck show this year. Yes, we shall be there all 3 days. All right. 844-844-3388. Remember we were talking about the massive daytime meteor that came down across Lake Erie and then seen from some 9 or 10 states there in the Northeast. And NASA confirmed it was a mass, probably about 6 feet wide, weighed nearly 7 tons. But most of it broke up in the atmosphere, but they did say fragments did make it to the ground. One headline, and I saw the photo via social media, what a beautiful piece. A massive fragment discovered in northern Ohio could be the largest ever found in the state's history, they tell us, measuring a staggering 9 inches wide. Now, the measurement is unofficial, has yet to be confirmed, they tell us, but this was reportedly found near Cuyahoga County, obviously after the bright fireball streaked across the skies, triggering the powerful boom heard across multiple states, the sonic boom. Most of this massive rock burned up in the atmosphere, but fragments indeed believed to have reached the ground. And there are definitely meteorite hunters out there searching for these things could be very valuable. Now, they say if you do find a fragment there, they say first take a picture of its place on the ground and then use aluminum foil to pick it up so your oily hands don't contaminate it, causing it to rust. And they also say please do not use magnets so you can preserve its polarity. obviously scientists hope to learn things from these sort of meteorites. Pretty cool stuff. All right, news break just ahead here. Around the country. Glad to have you with us. It's 844-844-3388. News, a service of Industrial Injection. Fuel injectors, fuel pumps, turbochargers, and complete diesel engine kits for the heavy-duty world. If it burns diesel, we can help keep it working. Learn more at industrialinjection.com.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Iran launched missile strikes on Qatar's Ras-Laffan liquefied natural gas hub, causing extensive damage and raising fears of global energy disruptions. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is being ordered to testify about the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer issued the subpoena Tuesday. It requires Bondi to appear for a deposition on April 14th. The Kentucky Republican wrote the committee believes Bondi possesses valuable insight into the investigations surrounding the convicted sex offender. The subpoena comes after 5 Republicans on the committee joined all Democrats earlier this month to vote to call on Bondi to testify. I'm Mark Mayfield.
At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted 768 points. The S&P 500 fell 91 points, and the Nasdaq dropped 327 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407. For your free website analysis, call 888-699-2407.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Come join the Steve Summers Overnight Drive as we broadcast all 3 days from the Mid-American Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky, March 26th through the 28th. Don't miss your chance to see the latest in trucking tech, gear, and more. Stop by the booth to meet Steve and register for your chance to win a new truck seat or truck seat cover for your big rig from Bostrom Seating. Plus, buy SSOD gear, win survival kits, and pick up your Hot Shot secret products to keep your ride on the road. Come see the Steve Summers Overnight Drive in Louisville, Kentucky at the Mid-American Truck Show, March 26th to the 28th. Learn more at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
So you missed an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, and now you're suffering night sweats and panic attacks. Well, don't worry, we've got the cure. Never miss a broadcast of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Consistently ranked as one of the top podcasts and radio shows in America, we've made it easy for you to catch up on past shows. Find the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts or at overnightdriveradio.com. And never miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I have one question for you. Do you want to stop worrying about the IRS? If the answer is yes, then look no further. I've been around for years, I've helped countless people across the country, and my success rate speaks for itself. So now you know where to find good, honest help with your tax problems. What are you waiting for? If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed in years, call me now at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com for a free consultation and get your life back.
The Overnight Drive with Steve Summers. Live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Call Steve now. 844-844-3388. That's 844-844-3388.
So we were talking about the big roller coaster ride, temperature-wise, warm-up, spreading through the Midwest. Big warm-up, Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati. Further to the Northeast, that warm-up could run into a few obstacles. A stubborn, chilly air kind of lingering over eastern Canada, along with clouds, a few areas of rain in some locations. And, of course, you got the cold waters of the North Atlantic. With a favorable shift in the breeze for a few hours, warmer air could reach the Mid-Atlantic and New England for a time. Coming up this weekend, breaking it down in Washington, D.C., high temperatures will climb from the chilly 40s here midweek, warming into the 50s later here Thursday, 60s on Friday, 70s. For Saturday, you could flirt with 80 degrees come Sunday, depending on the sunshine and whether a breeze off the chilly Potomac interferes. Around New York City, following the coldest day of the week this past day, where your highs were in the 30s, you're forecast to rise into the 50s by Friday, and maybe 60 for Saturday, well into the 60s come Sunday. Despite clouds and maybe a few hours of rain, further north in Boston, the warm-up will be tempered by lingering chilly air. As mentioned previously, temperatures rebounding to near 50 Friday, probably not no higher than the 50s for both Saturday and Sunday. Looking ahead, though, later this weekend into early next week, another shift in the jet stream. Yes, another surge of colder air. It spills into the Midwest and Northeast. That's also going to cause the heat dome in the Southwest to shrink a bit. This may not be as cold as some of these more recent intrusions of Canadian air. It will mark the end of a warming trend in the Midwest and the Northeast. Should trim some of the building heat across parts of the plains as well. So it's going to be the back and forth, up and down swings, warm to chilly, right on into April, especially in the Northeast and the Midwest and even parts of the Southeast. All right, so top industry headline. Here it is with Delilah Coleman and her family actually in attendance at the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee advancing the bill to strengthen CDL standards, referred to as Delilah's Law. Representative David Rouser of North Carolina, as we shared last evening, introduced an updated version that would crack down on the issuance of non-domiciled CDLs, ensure truck drivers are proficient in English, and shut down CDL mills. This past day, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee voted 35 to 26 to advance the bill to the full House. Again, unlike previous versions of the Delilah's Law, This revamped version does not require mandatory recertification for all CDL holders within 180 days. Again, they give the background. Delilah, who was 5 years old, severely injured in a crash involving a tractor-trailer driven by an illegal, Partap Singh, who was later arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Coleman was actually a guest as well at the State of the Union address when President Trump called for the legislation to block illegal, unqualified drivers from obtaining CDLs. Rouser says today we're one step closer to safer roads for Delilah Coleman, her family, and all Americans, ensuring each truck driver is qualified and legally operating will protect the public from these tragic yet preventable accidents. I look forward to working to get this bill through the House and the Senate to answer the president's call to restore public trust on the roadways. Now, we've already been through numerous times what this bill would envelop. Representative Mike Collins of Georgia, who actually holds a CDL and runs a trucking company, said this is common sense. We should only have the best people driving these trucks across the country. I'm second generation in the trucking industry. I've got my commercial driver's license in my pocket. I've had it for 40 years now. So I not only know what it takes to get these licenses and what you have to go through, but I also know how important it is to have a commercial driver's license and be able to drive truck. For the life of me, I cannot understand how these licenses have been issued to people who cannot speak or read English. Yeah, there's a reason we call these people professional drivers, because they're out there on the roads with your family and my family. I only want the best of the best out there, because things happen and things can go bad really fast. No doubt. Well, Big Ed, I guess they heard your call of recertifying all CDL holders because they scrapped that idea.
Good. It was just going to create more problems. Steve, and I heard Lauren Weed there last night. Him and Grump. For the life of me, let's look at the segments. You don't have this issue with your bull haulers. You don't have this issue with flammable material haulers, such as horse feathers, but you have it in the dry vans and the reefer vans. You don't have this issue with flatbedders. It's one little segment of the trucking industry where we're running into this issue. Now, as far as I know, in the flammable industry, where you have to go get your hazmat, which I don't carry a hazmat no more because I got sick of every time I turned around, I was being investigated. And I have to retest, which was fine. But that 1 year when I had to do it 3 different times, I said, the heck with this number. And I had to pay each time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think that they're issuing these hazmat certifications to these non-domiciled drivers, or did I miss something along the way? Are you there?
I'm not certain about that, Ed. I don't know.
I guess we'll have to ask Horse Feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's acting pretty nonchalant about this, so apparently he's not worried about it affecting his segment of the trucking industry. Now, let's talk about Mr. Lauren Weed. Now, these bull haulers, or cattle haulers, as they call themselves, the kings of the road. Well, guess what, Lauren? How about we send Grump to talk to Congress and transportation boards and convince them that, hey, these Muslims can haul cattle too. You know, guess what? You're running 80 to 100 miles an hour down the highway, and you're saying, "Oh, well, I got to get these cows to the feedlot or the slaughterhouse so they don't be any more miserable." And you don't think that cold wind ain't making those cattle stressed, or you don't think that hot wind ain't making those cattle stressed the way you're running down that highway? Oh, yeah, well, we can't pull over. Well, I bet there's a lot of farmers across this great country that would set up some corrals where you guys could have a place to pull over every 100 miles and let those cattle out. And then you take your 10-hour break. Or, hell, how about this? You do your 34-hour restart out there in the middle of a farmer's pasture. We can fix that for you, Lauren. I bet you'll sing a damn different tune about where me and Grump are standing. It doesn't bother you that I might have to go get recertified and that I'm just whining. I'm not whining. I'm stating cold, hard facts, and I think Grump really stated some cold, hard facts. What's whining about taking people like me and forcing me to go whatever the certification is going to be back into a driving school? That's that bull crap. And then they say, "Oh well, we're short of drivers." Steve, I'm a semi-retired driver. Okay, there are plenty of retired drivers out there that I'll bet will get off their butts and come back out here and run 6 months out of the year. Now, some of them would like running in the wintertime. Some of them, like me, they like running in the spring and summer and up into the fall. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to replace any shortages that you might have, but you got to get these trucking companies to start thinking there is a work pool out there that you people are not wanting to tap into. Now, I'm lucky this company.
And is that because those retired drivers, many of them got off the road because the rates were so low and you're working for nothing? If the rates come up, the pay levels come up. I think Plowboy told me last week the Red Mule is about to get back out there. He's been off the road for a couple of years now.
Yeah, guarantee you. Exactly. That's it in a nutshell. Because, if I wasn't making decent money, and I'm making decent money, I wouldn't be back out here.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't do it. But when they go to, and I think a lot of these retired drivers would, whether they want to be owner-operators or whether they want to be company drivers. I imagine a lot of them don't want to get the hassle of going back to end up being an owner-operator. But, some of these companies are going to increase that pay scale for your solo drivers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making decent money. I look to be getting a raise here pretty quick. You're going to have to. There's some of them paying 75 cents a mile out there. That's hard money to walk away from.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make every dollar I can while I can, while my health allow me to do it. But I ain't going to do it if I'm going to be, every time I turn around, they're making me jump through hoops, going back to driving schools, taking more tests every year. I mean, I already jumped through the hoops over my medical health issues, and I stay on top of my health issues. And that's the rules that the federal government set forth on when me be that diabetic, how I can continue to run out here. I pop 10 pills a day. I check my blood sugar 3 or 4 times a day. Matter of fact, I'll check it before I go to bed. I'll take a pill, and I'll check it when I get up in the morning. I got to know if, I'm going to have an issue throughout the day. So I thank God at my age I haven't lost no limbs. I stay on top of my health the best I can. So, but I'm not going to sit around and be forced to take a test every time I turn around because somebody handed out driver's license like they was baseball collecting cards. That I'm sorry, that is wrong. That if Lauren Wees loves it so much, hey, let's send Grump to Washington D.C. to testify before these committees, and let's fix this bull hauling situation and get these boys some rest. Lauren, you sound like you might need some rest. I know, yeah. Let's govern their trucks too, Steve. Hey, since we're at it, let's govern them bull hauling trucks. Hey, you got to keep these roads safe. Now, you heard Grump last night how many bull haulers he's seen laid over. Am I right or wrong?
That's what he said.
So okay, that's my spiel. But yeah, I thank God that they put a kibosh on this, and we'll just have to stay on top of it. And if you're listening to my voice, and if you're in any part of the industry that I just talked about, dry vans, reapers, it's your future. Call in here. If you disagree with what I'm saying, then call in here. Be kind. You ain't got to slam anybody into the ground. I didn't slam Lauren Wees into the ground. And debate this issue, because I'm telling you, it's going to affect you one way or another if you sit on your hands and keep your mouth shut. And if they keep pushing this and trying to reverse it, then I say we need to get a petition going and let's get Grump up there and let him testify before these committees, because Grump will go on there loaded for bear. You know, I go off the seat of my pants, but Grump will have a stack of papers 10 miles deep, and he'll prove his point. And he can also prove the point I brought up about these bull haulers like Lauren Wees. We're not your enemy, Lauren, but if you wanted help, and same thing with you horse feathers, if your part of the industry is under attack, you'd want us to step up to the plate and back you up, wouldn't you? Because if you don't, then let us know, and we'll start petitioning Congress or the Transportation Safety Board to, hey, let's get some hazmat to these guys, let them start driving these propane trucks, let them start hauling bulls. But that's my 2 cents on it, Steve, and I appreciate it that you've been discussing it, and hopefully nobody gets heartburn over how I feel it.
That's never happened, has it?
No. There you go, my friend.
Big Ed.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Are you with me? Absolutely.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders, and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor, here with Tax Help MD. As many of you know from Steve Summers' show, I've been helping professional drivers solve their tax problems. I can help you too. If you've been struggling with back tax debt, call me now at 888-557-4020. Let's face it, these problems aren't going away all on their own. You need professional help so you can sleep better at night knowing you're in good hands. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep my eyes on the IRS. 888-557-4020.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
All right, another issue being closely followed by the trucking industry is how high are the prices at the pump going to go? Right now, diesel's at $5 a gallon for the first time in 3 years. That's national average. The Department of Energy Information Administration weekly benchmark hit $5.07 per gallon on Tuesday. The 33rd time in history the average has cleared that threshold. First time since 2022, though. All 32 previous instances came during that single year of 2022. So a 21-cent jump from last week. 9th consecutive week of increases out there. Since the run began on February 27th, when you were at $3.45 per gallon, the last reporting date before the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran began. Prices have nationally climbed $1.61 per gallon. The AAA daily retail average was tracking even higher Tuesday morning, according to FreightWaves. The mechanism is the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has effectively closed to crude exports. The downstream effect on global production has been severe. Rystad Energy estimated that the Middle East has shed more than 12 million barrels per day of output, roughly 7% of global petroleum liquid demand. The bypass infrastructure that was supposed to cushion this is under strain, they tell us. The oil price information service Energy News, citing Rystad, described the remaining 14 million barrels per day of Middle East production as fragile right now. About 1.5 million barrels per day from Kuwait and Iraq is holding only because domestic refineries are still running. As storage fills up, output will likely be cut even further. They reported Iraq's overall production has collapsed from 4.2 million barrels per day to roughly 1.5 or 1.6, most of that being consumed domestically. Futures markets are moving accordingly. Ultra-low sulfur diesel on the CME settled at $2.59 on February 27th. The highest settlement since the war began hit $4.01 last Friday. Tuesday morning, ultra-low sulfur diesel was up 20 cents per gallon after a brief Monday sell-off was wiped out almost entirely by mid-morning. But retail prices have tracked the futures surge very closely. So what do we do here? Most fuel surcharge programs are keyed by the Department of Energy's weekly benchmark, the same number that just cleared $5. Surcharge tables written at 2024 or early 2025 price assumptions are already out of range for many carriers. Those on cost-plus contracts may have a bit of protection. Fleets that are on fixed rate agreements are having to absorb a cost that they didn't price. If your surcharge cable tops out below $4.75, it needs to be revised before Monday's next print. Keeping a close eye on fuel prices. News service of industrial injection. Since 1985, diesel owners have counted on us for fuel injection, turbochargers, and engine solutions from light-duty pickups to heavy-duty equipment. IndustrialInjection.com.
Costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Come join the Steve Summers Overnight Drive as we broadcast all 3 days from the Mid-American Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky, March 26th through the 28th. Don't miss your chance to see the latest in trucking tech, gear, and more. Stop by the booth to meet Steve and register for your chance to win a new truck seat or truck seat cover for your big rig from Bostrom Seating. Plus, buy SSOD gear, win survival kits, and pick up your Hot Shot secret products to keep your ride on the road. Come see the Steve Summers Overnight Drive in Louisville, Kentucky at the Mid-American Truck Show, March 26th to the 28th. Learn more at overnightdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor here. I have one question for you. Do you want to stop worrying about the IRS? If the answer is yes, then look no further. I've been around for years. I've helped countless people across the country, and my success rate speaks for itself. So now you know where to find good, honest help with your tax problems. What are you waiting for? If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or haven't filed in years, call me now at 888-557-4020 or go to mytaxhelpmd.com for a free consultation and get your life back.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Iran and Israel continue striking each other's Gulf energy sites, including missile attacks on Qatar's Ras Laffan liquefied natural gas hub and Iran's South Pars gas field. Iran warns of further retaliation while oil prices surge above $110 a barrel amid fears of prolonged supply disruptions through the Strait of Hormuz. Senate Republicans opened debate on the Save America Act, requiring proof of citizenship to register and a national voter identification. Democrats, led by Chuck Schumer, promised to fight that.
We're ready to be here all day, all night, as long as it takes to ensure the powers of voter suppression do not win the day.
Very different when compared to Chuck Schumer of 1996.
Everywhere people go, they're asked for a Social Security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a Social Security card.
Schumer also spoke ill of illegal immigration in that same speech from 96. President Trump calls the Save America Act the most important legislation in Congress. Passage remains uncertain. Vice President J.D. Vance says President Trump will soon announce measures to lower U.S. gas prices.
We're working on a number of things. In fact, a couple of things that I think will be announced in just the next 24 to 48 hours. I don't want to get ahead of the president on that, but we recognize this is an issue. We are fighting against it.
While speaking in Michigan, Vance called recent price spikes since the Iran war a temporary blip, with the national average now $3.84 a gallon, up from $3.79 on Tuesday and $2.90 just a few weeks ago. Wall Street took a tumble.
At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted 768 points. The S&P 500 fell 91 points, and the Nasdaq dropped 327 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network USA Radio News.
No matter who we are or where we come from, we all experience difficulties in life.
Military veterans know that sometimes it takes strength and determination to make it through.
Whether it's obvious physical challenges or struggles on the inside, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it.
I knew that I had to get support. Not just for me, but for the sake of my wife and kids.
Talking about it has helped me feel more like myself again.
Honestly, it was hard to open up at first, but it's changed my life for the better.
Learn how veterans like us have reached out for help. And hear stories of strength and recovery at MakeTheConnection.net.
The former head of a nonprofit in the St. Louis area will spend over a decade in prison for what officials said was the largest public assistance fraud in the history of the state.
Connie Bobo filed fraudulent documents to obtain almost $20 million in funding while serving as executive director of the New Heights Community Resource Center, which distributed meals to children after school and during the summer. Authorities said Bobo only spent just under $7 million of those funds on the program and kept the rest for herself. She was sentenced to 16 years behind bars in order to pay all of the money back. John Sommers, USA Radio News.
New research shows that belly fat may be a stronger indicator of heart failure than body mass index.
Researchers presented their findings at the American Heart Association EEP Lifestyle Scientific Sessions. The study shows where fat is stored in the body may matter more than weight, and that inflammation is a key factor. In the study, inflammation accounted for roughly 1/4 to 1/3 of the link between measures of fat stored around the waist and heart failure risk. Researchers say the study helps understand why some people develop heart failure despite having a body weight that seems healthy. I'm Michael Kastner.
A Florida hospital has sued a former patient who refuses to leave her room 5 months after being medically discharged, saying her continued stay is tying up a critical bed needed for other patients. Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is asking a judge to order her removal after repeated efforts to secure her departure. For USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero.
Would you know where to turn if you or a loved one became paralyzed? For thousands of families, the National Paralysis Resource Center has been that lifeline. But now federal funding's at risk. Sherman Gillums Jr., a partially paralyzed Marine veteran with the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, explains why.
This is about more than just a budget line. It's about veterans, caregivers, and families, real people who need these resources to live more productive and independent lives.
Learn more at ChristopherReeve.org.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Keep the bugs off your glass and the smokies off your ass. This is the Overnight Drive with Steve Summers.
Here we go. Welcome back. Welcome aboard. For those just joining us, glad to have you with us. Welcome back. The Steve Summers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios. Some of our other listening friends who we have checking in. Uncle Chop's on board. Morning, Steve, and the Overnight Drive crew, all the listeners out there. Iron Duck checking in from Springfield, Missouri tonight. Right now, 47 degrees, waiting on a truck from Prime. Gotta make some money. Keep the rubber side down. All right, good to have you with us, Iron Duck. Hey, there's Gary Montgomery. Get right back to the calls here. What do you say, horse feathers? Were your ears burning?
Yeah, morning, Your Honor. Hopefully we don't have any clicky.
We're clear. We're good.
Oh, that's amazing because we're actually down here by our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Amazing that, all right, so we'll take it. I kind of called in with not a whole lot to talk about there. You read that one message there in the beginning of one of our listeners there that's going to be home for the first time in 2 months. See if he recognizes the place. But you said that it's going to be good for him to go in and sleep in his own bed for, since he's been gone.
Right.
You know how many drivers that come home that have been out on the road for 2 months that can't go in the house and sleep in the bed because it ain't comfortable? They got to go back out to the truck to sleep in the truck there because that's the comfortable bed.
No.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you just wait. You just wait. All right, everybody out there in Facebook and YouTube land, just start keying up the keyboards there and tell Steve whether you get back whether you're more comfortable sleeping on your truck mattress or your home mattress, because these people they spend good money to have a mattress in the truck. You remember that company there? We won't say their name there, but they were something about big and something like that. But I think you even have one of them in your house.
Indeed. We can talk about the Big Rig mattress. Yeah. Otherwise, the home is current mattress. But yeah, I've been sleeping on. I had the original Big Rig, and then they upgraded me to the current, which is pretty much the same thing. But I've been sleeping on it for 20 years.
Well, if they don't have that in the house and they got that in the sleeper of the truck, where do you think they're going to be sleeping? I'm just saying, Your Honor.
Interesting. Okay.
But some people, they need the vibration of the truck. I mean, if you're used to sleeping with the truck running and the vibration of the truck, and you go in there to a nice, still house, quiet house, you can't sleep. I mean, you have to have the wife over there pretending she's a chainsaw or a reaper unit on the high cooling cycle or something there, so you can be able to sleep right. Because normally you're parked there in the truck stop with a big reefer running next to you or something. I mean, there's all kinds of problems with sleeping in a nice, quiet bedroom with a house that don't move. I mean, unless you're out there in San Francisco or somewhere they got them earthquakes. But your bed will move then. But anyways, that's a whole nother subject for. So anyways, best of luck to him. I mean, but so anyways, yeah. So I got news for Big Ed. And I don't think it's my niche industry alone. I think it goes with all the way across the board of this whole trucking industry, because this trucking industry, no matter what you do, you have your top end companies. No matter what freight you haul, you have your top end companies where good drivers can make a lot of money working for good companies. Mm-hmm. But in that whole scenario, in the niche industry, we have bottom feeder companies in this industry. Lauren Weiss has bottom feeders in his bull hauling industry. And they go out there and they'll cut rates and they'll hire people for, low wages to do the job because they cut rates, or, they take illegals and pay them cash money under the table, or even legal people who work for cash money. I mean, they'll work for cash money for a lower wage than what you have to pay if you're paying taxes. So, yeah. And, so there are people out there in every aspect of our trucking industry that are willing to do the job for less money than other people are, just because. Well, here, take for example, I live here in the Mid-Atlantic area, state of Maryland, where the only thing we do is pay more, and that's Moore, pay more, because he's our governor and he's just stealing from us left and right, and it's not through taxes now. We don't get any more new taxes, and that's Moore taxes. We get more mandates. They're just mandating things now. They're mandating more things to be taken out of our paycheck that the employees and the employer has to pay. But they don't say, we can't say anything about that. But anyway, so there's always all the way through. So you're going to find your bad drivers that really shouldn't be out here on the road in all aspects, and yeah, there's some of them that scare me to be standing next to loading that I wouldn't want, and that's one of the reasons I'm out here at the time of day I am, is because I don't want to be in these places with everybody else. I want to go in and do my job by myself and be left alone. I don't deal well with others. It's been a stated fact before. So I just try to do my thing at my time of day, and hopefully if I ignore everybody else, they ignore me and don't get under my skin. But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so I don't know. There's here for there, but I'm glad to hear that they took out the part of having to retest, because I would have been one on the list that I would have been handing it to them. Here you go. You figure out what to do to replace me, because I ain't going through it. And it's pretty wise that they did that, but they better make sure that the ones that have their license and deserve to have them, and the ones that shouldn't have them out here, get them taken away, whether it's by roadside inspection or whether it's by motor vehicles or whoever it is that does it. And as Grump said last night, if they crash, and hopefully they take themselves out and they don't take out somebody else with them. But anyways, there. So your next thing is, boy, you really gave me something to talk about here. Fuel prices. Where are you coming up with $5 a gallon, Your Honor? I don't know how you come up with that number, because I just got done fueling up here, and I hate to say this, but I had to go play truck driver tonight and go into the TA here in Jessup, Maryland, just south of Baltimore, which you go in there, you're taking your life in your hands. It's not quite as bad as it used to be, but usually there's somebody there to get shot, murdered, drug deals going on, or whatever else might be going on in the parking lots. And I don't go back there to that parking lot, but I got to go into the fuel island. And their marquee is $6.39.9. That's $6.399 a gallon. And I got fuel discount cards, so we didn't pay quite that much. We were right at the $5 a gallon mark, but we don't get our credit card discount, because the discount place actually charges us 3% for paying them with a credit card. So we actually lose money on our credit card rebate that we would normally get. But anyways, I just put in 140 gallons, which is a lot for me. $895, Your Honor.
Yep.
140 gallons, $895, and that's a $6.39 a gallon. Now, if you're at the TA up at the other end of Maryland going into Delaware on 95, last time I saw that marking, it was $7.18 a gallon. Now, what's the difference of the fuel closer to the refinery, 40 miles closer to the refinery, than the fuel that's down there south of Baltimore, to be the difference from $6.40 a gallon to $7.18 a gallon? I don't know, about 45 miles in between, maybe 50 miles in between. Who's gouging in this industry, Your Honor?
Yeah, somebody.
Just asking. And it's all the same company. I mean, it's still the same blue and red TA, both places. So I don't know. Somebody needs to be out here looking at prices and what the actual price is, and somebody's gouging somewhere again. But I don't know. It's the legislatures are, these. They're there for one reason, is to stick money in their pockets. It's given to them by lobbyists who have the government people, have our legislative people make laws that benefit the lobbyists, so the lobbyists make money so they can give money to the campaigns to have them reelected, so they can keep making money to keep putting money in their pocket.
Follow
Did I say
the
that
money.
out loud?
Yes, you did. Follow the money. Yes.
Exactly, Your Honor. So government for the money, by the money, and from the money. I don't know. Dirty money, old money. Whose money is it? Oh, wait a minute. It's all our money, and we're just getting it taken away from us. All right, Your Honor. I think I've ranted enough here, haven't I? I know I got empty pockets.
I think we get the message. There's a lot of complaining about prices at the pump. Does that mean we should just forget about Iran? Just end this thing. Get it over with. There's a gentleman by the name of Alan Pfeiffer with the American Thinker, who's kind of addressing that this past day. To the heart of the matter, he said, many clueless Americans getting their news from, say, TikTok, if they get any news at all, are exactly like the denizens of Animal Farm, with only the barest cognitive ability to understand what's going on. So someone starts, smarter boils it down. Much like TikTok, they boiled it down to a soundbite. When it comes to fuel prices right now, everyone's along the lines of, well, gas prices are up, war bad. Now, here's what he suggests, kind of a silver bullet. With the exception of the left coast, America is energy independent. World pricing is setting the oil and gas prices, which in turn is setting the prices at the pump. Now, he said the president can issue an executive order that for a defined time, U.S. marketers should charge only the price of oil or gas that existed the day before the war commenced. I said, I'm a free trader at heart. Supply and demand are not the reason prices are climbing, though. Speculators are driving the run-up strictly to profit from fear, completely detached from actual supply and demand. In essence, it's a manipulated market. As you recall, last evening we shared the inventory numbers in the U.S. Saw a big jump last week. Now, he said, I hate price fixing. However, if it means millions of Americans will stay the course and help our president and his razor-thin margin of supporters stay strong, it would be the lesser of two evils. It also sends a signal to Iran that they've lost the public relations war and time is on our side, not their side. The president is doing a number of things to try to address the rising fuel cost. Word this past day that the administration is expected to announce soon that they're going to lift temporarily the federal smog cutting restrictions on summer blend gasoline. That would make standard gasoline cheaper by not forcing the refiners and the retailers to switch to the more costly summer blends, which will be coming online in the not-too-distant future, while also allowing fuel retailers to continue selling gas blended at 15% ethanol, known as E15, through the summer driving season, when typically the stricter rules limit the use of that in much of the country. We normally, of course, switch to the summer blend to reduce air pollution by lowering the fuel evaporation in warm weather. These blends have lower volatility measured by Reid vapor pressure to limit evaporating fuel that can contribute to smog. We know the oil and gas prices are up. Last check on the price per barrel when it comes to the West Texas is at $96 per barrel at this moment. I mean, it hasn't fluctuated a whole lot over the past day. The Brent crude, the international, that's still in excess of 100 per barrel. All right, Grump got you coming up here into the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
So you missed an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive, and now you're suffering night sweats and panic attacks. Well, don't worry, we've got the cure. Never miss a broadcast of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive. Consistently ranked as one of the top podcasts and radio shows in America, we've made it easy for you to catch up on past shows. Find the Steve Summers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts or at overnightdriveradio.com. And never miss an episode of the Steve Summers Overnight Drive.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Diesel owners know if you take care of your engine, it'll return the favor. Hot Shot secret formulates additives that help you prevent problems and boost performance. Diesel Extreme cleans internal and external injector deposits, and EDT increases fuel economy by up to 7.3%. Scientifically proven by third-party testing. Add Hot Shot Secret at your next fill-up to get the most out of your diesel. Available nationwide at truck stops, farm and automotive stores, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
And there are several other measures that were actually announced this past day that we'll give you the details on coming up as the administration is doing what they can to try to curb the energy cost hikes. But first, promise we get to Grump joins us. Morning, Grump.
Morning. Yeah, and I imagine just him mentioning that, the courts are already probably got stacks of lawsuits, against him, from the Democrats. You can't do that. You gotta keep all the smog crap in place. I don't know, man. I tell you this, fuel prices is through the roof. They're going to do anything at all. It's hard as hell to do anything to speculators, but I still think fuel, gasoline, or oil should be taken off the commodities market, and it should have a controlled price on it to where, at least things like this don't happen where, it's manipulated to the fact it no longer becomes supply and demand. It becomes nothing more than a money demand. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. But anyway, we was talking about this trucking thing going on, and stuff in Delilah's Law and everything. But, accident rates have steadily went up, over the years. And it's, since pretty much since 2010, since MAP 21, went into effect, or MAP 2010, I'm sorry, when it went into effect, and everything in the e-logs and all that, accidents rate started going up. But, one of the reasons, going back to what Big Ed was talking about on general freight is the hardest of everything to monitor. I mean, there's just so much freight volume out there that's hitting every kind of load board, and it's just because of the sheer volume of it, it's so hard to monitor, and it's also the easiest to manipulate and steal it. Basically, they since 2021 that cargo theft rate in this industry has went up 1,500% since 2021. Now, what's that tell you? It's not. It didn't go up until all the illegals started flooding in here, and they started handing out damn driver's licenses like they were chiclets. So nobody can tell me that isn't a direct correlation between illegal immigration and theft in this country. That's happening. They got the numbers to prove it, and it's costing about $18 million a day. And one of the things that I've seen, and everything, was on top of the 18 million. But I mean, if you look at it, it's 6.6 billion. But they also brought in so many logistics organizations because of the flood of freight and every damn thing else. And it was so easy to become a logistics, a freight forwarding company that basically has over $35 billion a year right now in claims against insurance companies. And that's a fact. I mean, that come right out of the ATRI. They just pretty much announced that This is what's happening when you let an industry and you let idiots like Pete Buttigieg, of all damn people, couldn't fix a pothole in his home state, but yet they put that jackass in front of his transportation secretary. It's ridiculous. And then you couple him with Mayorkas, who just put a welcome here sign. We got a free phone and a freaking MasterCard for you, and we'll find you a place to stay. And what they say it was costing $81,000 a year, or more than that, just to house for one illegal alien. Everything that they get, about $81,000 a year. Where the hell is all that money coming from? It's coming from us. But Delilah's law was supposed to crack down on all this. They were supposed to get rid of all the brokers and all the, and there's provisions in there that says that it will straighten out the brokers and the chameleon companies and just, get rid of all these people. And that's one of the things that I think needs to be a recertification. If anybody's going to get recertified, they know who in the hell the fraudsters are, number one. They know who the chameleon companies are, where they're popping up at. They're in blue states. They're protected in blue states. It would be simple as hell to get rid of all these fraudsters and people like that, all these illegals that are driving the trucks, just by simply the federal government set up, number one, coming out of California, you've only got a few ways to get out of California, or you're going to be climbing over some mountains and things like that. The federal government owns the interstates. States don't own them. They're federally owned. They could.
So what? Check them all as they're coming up. Hold the thought there. As we hit bottom of the hour news break, a service of Industrial Injection, heavy-duty diesel parts and solutions from injectors and pumps to turbochargers and engines, built for the trucks that can't afford downtime.
USA Radio News, I'm Anthony Lucero. Iran launched missile strikes on Qatar's Ras Laffan liquefied natural gas hub, causing extensive damage and raising fears of global energy disruptions. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is being ordered to testify about the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer issued the subpoena Tuesday. It requires Bondi to appear for a deposition on April 14th. The Kentucky Republican wrote the committee believes Bondi possesses valuable insight into the investigations surrounding the convicted sex offender. The subpoena comes after 5 Republicans on the committee joined all Democrats earlier this month to vote to call on Bondi to testify. I'm Mark Mayfield.
At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted 768 points. The S&P 500 fell 91 points, and the Nasdaq dropped 327 points. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
From America's News Network, USA Radio News.
Commerce moves fast. Your business should too. If you're not on the first page of search results, you're losing customers. Out of sight, out of mind is true. Don't let that be you. iLocal.net has helped local businesses dominate search results since 2009. For a limited time, iLocal.net is offering a free website analysis to improve the online presence of your business. Local business owners across the U.S. turn to iLocal.net to improve their search engine rankings. Search engines are constantly changing their algorithms. You need the professionals who know how to use those changes to benefit your business. Don't hope for new customers. Get found and be chosen. Call 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Don't wait. Call 888-699-2407. That's 888-699-2407 for your free website analysis. Call 888-699-2407.
Truck downtime costs you money. One hidden killer on Cummins ISX 15 engines is weak injector cups. When they leak, coolant gets into the cylinders and suddenly you're facing a big repair bill. Industrial Injection has the fix. Our Torque Lock Injector Cup Kit with a threaded Torque Lock design. These cups stay sealed for good. No more coolant leaks. No more surprise downtime. Keep your truck on the road. Ask your shop for Industrial Injection Torque Lock Injector Cups today.
Come join the Steve Summers Overnight Drive as we broadcast all 3 days from the Mid-American Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky, March 26th through the 28th. Don't miss your chance to see the latest in trucking tech, gear, and more. Stop by the booth to meet Steve and register for your chance to win a new truck seat or truck seat cover for your big rig from Bostrom Seating. Plus, buy SSOD gear, win survival kits, and pick up your Hot Shot secret products to keep your ride on the road. Come see the Steve Summers Overnight Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, Kentucky at the Mid-American Truck Show, March 26th to the 28th. Learn more at overnighttdriveradio.com.
Your factory fuel filter is letting you down. AirDog heavy-duty diesel fuel systems don't just filter your fuel. The AirDog fully optimizes your truck's fuel system for peak efficiency. The factory-provided filter simply removes particulates and water from fuel. The AirDog system removes all contaminants, including entrained air, water, and particulates, and feeds the engine pump with optimal pressure. Check out airdogdiesel.com to learn how you can capture every bit of performance and efficiency from your fuel system.
Dean Michael, the tax doctor, here with Tax Help MD. As many of you know from Steve Sommers' show, I've been helping professional drivers solve their tax problems. I can help you too. If you've been struggling with back tax debt, call me now at 888-557-4020. Let's face it, these problems aren't going away all on their own. You need professional help so you can sleep better at night knowing you're in good hands. It's like I always say, keep your eyes on the road, I'll keep my eyes on the IRS. 888-557-4020.
Like the men and women who power America, the people at Hot Shot Secret work hard and play harder. We're the fastest growing diesel and oil additive brand in the country. We solve problems. We protect engines. We save you money. And more importantly, time. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
So you missed an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, and now you're suffering night sweats and panic attacks. Well, don't worry, we've got the cure. Never miss a broadcast of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive. Consistently ranked as one of the top podcasts and radio shows in America, we've made it easy for you to catch up on past shows. Find the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive wherever you get your podcasts or at overnightdriveradio.com. And never miss an episode of the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, we'll get back with more discussion on Delilah's Law. I did mention the president and the administration making several moves, kind of scrambling to try to rein in the surging energy costs. And one of those was temporarily waiving a century-old shipping law and easing Venezuela sanctions. This after oil prices have rocketed following the U.S.-Israeli strikes on Iran, obviously. Strait of Hormuz essentially shuttered. I saw a report where I think somewhere close to like 90 vessels have been able to make the transit through the strait since the start of this operation in Iran. What would normally be between 100 and 135 vessels per day would normally be transiting the Strait of Hormuz. So that gives you an idea. Average U.S. gas prices up more than 27% since the start of the war, according to AAA. For now, the president's announcement of a 60-day Jones Act waiver would lift a ban on foreign-flagged vessels transporting cargo between U.S. ports over that period of time. The 1920 law was aimed at promoting American shipbuilding, but critics argue it hampers free trade and has raised the cost for consumers. This is just another step to mitigate the short-term disruptions to the oil market. This will allow vital resources like oil, natural gas, fertilizer, and coal to flow freely to U.S. ports for 60 days, according to Caroline Leavitt's announcement this past afternoon. She vowed the administration is committed to continuing to strengthen our critical supply chains. Treasury Department separately issued a license this past day to authorize certain transactions between established U.S. entities and Venezuela's state-owned oil company. This license, they say, will benefit both the U.S. and Venezuela, while supporting the global energy market by increasing the supply of available oil. Vice President J.D. Vance actually touched on the issue this past day during a visit to a manufacturing facility in Michigan. He said, we've got a rough road ahead of us for the next few weeks, but it's temporary. They kind of explained what the Jones Act was all about. It's a dramatic expansion in the number of ships that are able to be used in transporting goods within the world's biggest economy, referring to that waiver. I said it's nearly 5 times as expensive to build a medium-range tanker in the United States than in Asia, which could explain why there's not many such vessels globally. This could mitigate some of the disruptions, but moving forward, the situation could be less about reducing cost than slowing the rate of increase. All right. It's 844-844-3388. The 60-day decision is opposed to the 30 we expected. Is that a signal that the conflict may last longer than originally suggested? President initially said about a month is what we anticipated, but I don't know. There's still buildup going on in the region, so I think it may be a bit longer. There we go. Welcome back, Ron. Yep.
Yeah. You know something, Steve? Remember the TWIC card? It's still active. I mean, it's still something that, transportation workers identification card. If they wanted to stop this damn illegal immigrant drivers and stuff like that, all they got to do is implement the TWIC card for everybody in the trucking industry that has a CDL license. Since it started in 2007, they've been 5 million of them issued, and right now there's only about 2.2 million that's active. And the thing about it is we got pre-passes. All right, hell, they could, they get pre-passes. It's simple to get a pre-pass. I mean, hell, all you got to do is fill out the application, and they'll look at your driving record and stuff like that, and boom, it's that simple to get a pre-pass. But I guess the point that I'm getting at here is that government has done this crap on their own. There's about 360 inland ports total in the United States, and that was what the TWIC card was designed for, was to get in and out of the ports. They got about 100 of them that are inland ports that, rail yards, things like that. They pick them up from the shipyards, and they don't stop until they get to the rail yards, inside, like Kansas City is a big inland port. So you got to have a TWIC card to go in these places. If they were going to issue anything at all, not on top of the CDL, since the CDL is so damn hard to get a TWIC card. They should have enforced that. You got to have a birth certificate. You got to have, your fingerprints. Get your fingerprints taken, a birth certificate. They've had over 10 million people that's applied for TWIC cards, and you'd probably be amazed at the number of arrests that has come about from people that's going to get a TWIC card. Over warrants and things like that shows up on the fingerprinting. And they got an active address. Well, hell, they just go pick them up. So they've used it for several different reasons. But it's, when we look at the high theft rates and things like that from all this crap that's been going on, it's always in the blue states.